Mr. G just loves a buttered Brazil nut.
I do, and even though they're covered in smooth caramel, these Brazil nuts are packed with antioxidants like selenium, which supports the immune system. This is my recipe for butter Brazils. Start by roasting 200 grams of Brazil nuts at 180 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. I love making butter Brazils almost as much as I like eating them. For the caramel coating, put 225 grams of soft light brown sugar into a pan. This will give it a lovely caramel flavour. 3 ounces of butter.
Where do you think you are, 1947?
75 grams of butter.
Thank you.
Next, pour in 50 ml of water. And finally, half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, which will stop the sugar from crystallising and give the Brazil nuts a gorgeous, lovely clear coating. Pop the pan onto a low heat. It's going to melt the butter and dissolve the sugar and get it up to a gentle boil. The sugar's now dissolved. Just checking on the back of the spoon, make sure there's no crystals there. If you can still see sugar crystals on the back of the spoon, then leave it on the heat for a little longer. Pop a sugar thermometer into the pan and take the temperature up to 130 degrees centigrade. OK, so that's reached 130. Take it off the heat. You can do these individually, but I like to grab a handful, drop them into the caramel and give them a good stir around. When you take it off the heat, sometimes the caramel's a little bit too thin to give it the nuts a good coating, so just leave it for a minute or two and it will start thickening up and you get a really good coat on the Brazil nut. Just look at the colour of that caramel. That's gorgeous, glossy, beautiful. That's what you're looking for. Place the coated Brazil nuts to cool on a baking sheet lined with either a silicone mat or baking parchment. Make sure the caramel's coated as best you can around the nuts. How gorgeous and inviting is that? Do you know that Brazil nuts come from Brazil? No surprise there. But they come from trees that grow up to 150 feet tall. And these little fellas come in pods of between 8 and 20 nuts. So just imagine, like these pods, they weigh 5 kilos falling out of a tree from 150 feet. Look at that, gorgeous. It's a really simple recipe. Lovely thing to do. It's extremely therapeutic. They'll take about an hour to set. So the caramel has set now on the Brazils. Look at that. You can see the clear, shiny, golden casing of caramel around the Brazil nut there. Perfect. Beautiful. I think that's mine. That gorgeous caramel melting away from the Brazil nut. Would you like to try one of my gorgeous butter Brazils?
Ooh, I'd love to try one of your gorgeous buttered Brazils. Good shot. Mr. Greenwood has long thought that the secret to happiness is a glass of malt whisky, a roaring fire, and a dish of buttered Brazils. He is not far wrong.